Good Sunday evening, South Mississippi. Meteorologist Taylor Graham here, joining you from the newsroom tonight, talking a little bit about your forecast this week. And I know a lot of people heading back to work tomorrow after what could have been a long holiday break. And also, not every school, but some schools getting back into session tomorrow. So we're starting to get back into the groove of things a little bit, although tomorrow evening in Biloxi is the 12th night celebration. So even though we are winding down from New Year's, we are going right into Mardi Gras season here in South Mississippi. And as of this evening, feels a little bit on the chilly side in some spots, but temperatures are going to stay pretty steady overnight tonight. And then as we head into the middle of the week, we do have a pretty decent warm up ahead in the forecast. So looking at temperatures right now, we are mainly in the upper 40s, low to mid 50s across the coast. It looks like some spots in Jackson County where we get a little bit more of that cooler air to drain in. Temperatures have dropped a bit more into the upper 40s. Elsewhere, we are still in the 50s. And while it is a little bit chilly outside, as we know, it could be much, much colder during this time of the year. We are looking at calm conditions this evening over downtown Gulfport, sitting at 55. Not too much of a wind, relative humidity that's getting close to 100%, and there is going to be a chance of seeing a little fog at times overnight tonight into Monday morning. Like I mentioned, temperatures are going to stay fairly steady over the next few hours, give or take a few degrees here or there. Generally speaking, we'll be in the upper 40s and low 50s over the next several hours, and then heading into Monday morning, we may start off the day with a little bit more cloud cover. Like I briefly mentioned, there could be some patchy fog overnight tonight into Monday. Does not look like it's going to be too widespread or too thick, but just a heads up as you head out on Monday morning, there may be a little patchy fog here or there. It's not really until Tuesday morning and even Wednesday morning we are expecting more of the widespread fog across South Mississippi. So satellite and radar, pretty quiet at this point. We've got some higher thin clouds moving in from the north and west as far as I can tell. Not really seeing any rain across the Gulf Coast at this time. It's nice and quiet. We have some relatively dry air in place across South Mississippi, and a wider view does show some clouds moving in from the north and west, but radar at this point pretty much completely quiet across the southeast. So your forecast tomorrow, if you're heading back to work or if you are heading back to school, not a bad forecast. We may start off with some cloud cover throughout the day. I do anticipate to see a little bit more sunshine once we get into the afternoon, and tomorrow looks a little bit warmer than what we had today, with high temperatures getting back into the upper 60s. For your marine forecast tomorrow, looking at smooth conditions for the most part. Seas expected to be about a foot, not only over the sound, but also offshore tomorrow, when we are only anticipating a very light breeze at about 5 knots. Looking at tides, seems like we will be approaching low tide throughout the morning, with high tide expected very late tomorrow night, even into the early morning hours. I noticed there I have PM for Bay St. Louis at 12:26. 99% sure I made that typo. Should be AM. So again, late tomorrow night into very early Tuesday morning, that is, we will be in the middle of high tide. Our water temperature right now sitting in the upper 50s. So tomorrow evening, a big night in Biloxi. It is the 12th night celebration to kick off Mardi Gras season or carnival season this year. That is going to be going on at City Hall in Biloxi. Temperature-wise, a little bit on the cool side, with temperatures starting off in the low 60s, and by the end of the celebration or that evening, we will be in the upper 50s. The wind is going to stay calm, not too much of a breeze, it seems like. We may see some clouds here or there, but no rain expected, nice and dry. Should be a really nice evening to get Mardi Gras, to get kicked off tomorrow night. So the 12th night celebration, that looks like that is in pretty good shape. So playing all this out on Futurecast, as we get into Monday morning, we may see some clouds around. Temperatures fairly steady, upper 40s, low 50s. Then tomorrow afternoon, if we get a little bit more of the sun to peek through in the afternoon, we will be warming up into the upper 60s, a little bit above normal for this time of the year. The warming trend continues into Tuesday. We'll start off mid to upper 50s, and then by Tuesday afternoon, I would say even along the coast, there's a pretty good chance we're going to be in the low 70s, even some mid 70s, not out of the question. And we are going to be warming up until Wednesday and Thursday ahead of our next cold front. Now with this next cold front, We are looking at a decent chance of seeing some showers and some thunderstorms at some point Friday. Possibly a few of those stick around into Saturday morning, but we'll have to fine tune the details in terms of the exact timing of that as we get closer and closer to the weekend. But the setup is we'll have an area of low pressure well to our north. That's going to help to drag along with it a cold front. Ahead of this front, there is going to be enough moisture and enough energy to possibly spark one or two strong to severe thunderstorms. So we'll have to watch out for a severe weather risk of Friday and possibly into very early Saturday morning. So showers and storms are looking likely. We'll keep an eye out for the chance for a few strong thunderstorms. This rain will also be pushing into parts of Alabama, the Florida Panhandle, something to watch out for if you're going to be traveling later this weekend into the weekend. Once we get into Saturday morning, it does look like the majority of the rain starts to push out of the way, but again, we're still several days out, so these details could change. And then behind the cold front, it is going to be cooler and drier. And right around this time next week is when it's going to be feeling more like January. As for the rest of this week, temperatures expected to be upper 60s, low 70s on the coast. Farther inland north of I-10, there's a good chance we're going to be in the mid to upper 70s by Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, even into Friday. But by Sunday, a week from today, it does look like it is going to be a good bit cooler. For now, we are aiming for high temperatures in the 50s, and by Sunday morning, there's a good chance that we're going to be seeing morning lows back in the 40s, which is much closer to normal for this time of the year. As for the rest of this week, though, our morning lows are going to be well above freezing in the 50s and 60s, so you do not have to worry about any freezes, at least in the near future. We'll keep an eye out right around this time next week and into next Monday. Possibly things get cool enough to where we could be getting close to freezing. But as for the next 4 to 5 days, it's feeling a bit more like spring rather than winter. And again, that cold front moving through by Friday could bring with it a chance for a few strong to even severe thunderstorms. Something to be mindful of, but at least for tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, pretty nice forecast. Some of the mornings may get foggy, Tuesday and Wednesday mornings specifically, but the afternoons are looking pretty nice. And you'll get good use out of your spring wardrobe, shorts, t-shirts, flip-flops. Those will probably come in handy by the middle to end of the week. So time now is